Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Scott Pilgrim Iceberg Explained. Why this video took so long? Well, it was a thing called procrastination and school, even though school is much more of an excuse than anything else. Basically, this is just all three parts combined with an added fixed entry, mainly because I got information from it. So, with that all out of the way, let's get into it. Video game references. This is just talking about the many video game references within the series, like Zelda noises in the movie and the whole gaining XP thing. Not much more to talk about. The movie. Yes, Scott Pilgrim had a movie. Yes, I liked it. And no, it did not do well. There's not much to talk about. Most people know the movie better than the books. Credzilla. This is referring to the original script for the movie, with one of the directors wanting a Godzilla-like scene with Gideon and him turning into Credzilla, and him being defeated by Knives revealing her love for Scott. This also ties into a later entry. Numerology with the 7 evil X's. In the movie, there are examples with the X's that refer to their numbers, like Matthew Patel covering 1 eye, Lucas Lee pointing with 2 fingers, and Todd Ingram having a 3 on his shirt, and so on. Knives alternate ending. This is an alternate ending in the movie with Scott choosing to be with Knives instead of Ramona. I've heard some people like this ending, but in my opinion, I don't care which ending is really used. X imagery in the movie. Apparently, there are X's hitting all around the movie. To be honest, I didn't really notice, but if any of you did, I don't know, 5 bonus points. Brie Larson version of Black Sheep. This refers to there being a version in the movie with the actor Brie Larson singing the song Black Sheep. Sequel ideas. All I know about this is the plan for a sequel movie or another book telling where everyone is now. I think that the series ended fine and doesn't really need an epilogue. The game was lost media. Oh yes. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, was released alongside the movie. It was released on the Xbox Arcade, but was later taken off due to licensing issues. Since it was the only way that you can get it, there was no way to play it once it was gone, unless you already have it on your Xbox. It was lost for around 10 whole years. That was before the complete edition was released in 2021, which brought it back. Differences between the books and the movie. There are many differences between the books and the movie, like the Lucas Lee fight, the twins fight, and the scenes with Knives. Sometimes I prefer the movie to the books, other times it's vice versa. The books. Yeah, no duh, Scott Pilgrim is a book series, but there are some short books like Free Scott Pilgrim and the 1000 collection of different comics. Don't know why this wasn't on the first layer instead of like the movie or something, but whatever. Plum Tree song. This referred to the band Plum Tree and their single Scott Pilgrim. It is on here because it gave Brian Lee O'Malley inspiration for the title character's name. The X's respawn after death. Turns out the X's don't die after exploding into coins. Apparently they just respawn after death at their homes, having learned their lesson. When I first read this, I thought, I hope so, or else Scott would have committed like 7 counts of murder. Stephen Stills is gay. At the end of the 6th book, it is revealed that he's actually gay. Not much more to say. I forgot who he's in a relationship with, but if I remember, I guess I'll just put it on screen. Scott Pilgrim vs. the Animation. This one is a classic. This was a short that aired on Adult Swim to promote the movie. The animation is about the flashback scene at the start of the 2nd book. I think that an animated version of the books would be cool. Also, I don't know if this is right based on my memory, but this may or may not have been my first exposure to Scott Pilgrim. I just didn't really look into it after that. Neil Young and Stephen Stills. These two are a folk rock supergroup. I think this is here because of the characters Young Neil and Stephen Stills, so I guess they inspired the names of said characters. Scott Pilgrim's Little Life. This is a name given to the original movie script. In it was the knives ending, Ramona being more of an ass, the Credzilla thing that I mentioned in part 1, etc. Canon birthdays. This is referring to the fact that there are canonical birthdays in the Scott Pilgrim universe, like Scott being born on September 27th and Ramona January 1st, etc. Kevin Katanagi. This is in the game where you fight the twins. Instead of saying Ken Katanagi, it says Kevin Katanagi. I don't know why it says this instead of the right name, but some people swear that it said Ken instead of Kevin. Roxy explodes into animals instead of coins. In the game and the comic, Roxy explodes into animals. This is a reference to Sonic when beating a stage and animals pop out of the container. Free Scott Pilgrim. This is a free 17-page comic released in 2006 as a part of Free Comic Book Day. Though, if you don't have a physical copy, I think you have to go on the Wayback Machine to read it. Scott Pilgrim ruined a generation of women. This is a saying/song that says the movie ruined a generation of women by turning them into Ramona Flowers or Kim Pines or something like that. I can't really say anything about this because 1, I'm not a woman, and 2, I don't know anybody who started to act like them after watching the movie. Ramona's natural hair color. It is really a mystery what her natural hair color is. Ryan O'Malley thinks it's a medium to dark brown, but no one really knows for sure. Extended garbage truck / black sheep footage. I don't know what this means. When I looked it up, I found the original scenes, but I did find the songs descended on the soundtrack, so I guess that counts. Flash at Demon Head is an NES game. The band that Envy and Ty are in is named after an old NES game. I found this out after watching an AVGN episode. I guess Brian O'Malley decided to name the band after the game. Neo was originally going to be 9 years old. Yeah, it was revealed in the color version of Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life. I guess that explains the young part in his name. Lucas Lee movies named after Plumtree songs. Lucas Lee is the skater and movie actor. The names of his movies are named after Plumtree songs like You Just Don't Exist and This Game Is Over, too. Full version of Summertime. This is a song that plays in the movie. I guess there's a full version on the soundtrack or something. Deadly Sins theming. This is a theory that says the evil exes and Scott represent the 7 deadly sins. Matthew Patel being pride, Lucas Lee being sloth, Todd Ingram being wrath, Roxy Richard being lust, the twins being envy, Gideon Graves being greed, and Scott being gluttony. Personally, I think it made some sort of sense except with Scott, but whatever. Wallace Weldon. This was Wallace Weld's original name. It was shown in book 1 on his apartment mailbox. Not much more to say here. Comic Festival shorts. These are short comics that were made for comic festivals, stuff like Free Scott Pilgrim, Now, Best of Toronto, and Comic Festival 2005. They were later combined into Scott Pilgrim Full Color Odds and Ends in 2008. Scott being tied to 0. As far as I know, this is part of the numerology with the X's. Scott is 0 because he isn't an evil X, and it's kind of shown because he drinks like Diet Coke Zero or something, and on his shirt during the movie, his first shirt that he wears, it has a 0 on it. Todd is a Scott parallel. This is talking about the character Todd Ingram and how he is a Scott parallel. At the time in the book, Todd acted almost entirely opposite to Scott. He was super powerful, vegan, wrathful, and all around just an ass. Launchpad McQuack is an actual song. This is referring to the song Sex Bomb Plays. While the real name of the song is unknown, there are lyrics in the first book and instructions on how to play the song. Ex-boyfriend/ex's discrepancy. Bro, if I'm gonna be totally honest, I have no clue what this means. Not a clue. I know that after this video comes up, people are gonna tell me, and if they tell me, I guess I'll just include it when everything comes together. Okay, so fun fact about this entry, I actually got a confirmation for it, or at least some sort of idea for what it could mean by someone in the comments. I will put their comment on screen now. Basically, the idea was that in the game it says 7 evil ex-boyfriends. Well, you know, not all of them are actually boys. Roxy's a girl, so I guess that counts. This is honestly the best idea I have, or that they have, and I'm taking anything at this point. I honestly don't even understand what this one would mean. The entire Scott Pilgrim vs. the World script is on Genius. This is talking about how the entire Scott Pilgrim vs. the World script is on the website, Genius. I mean, sure. Oh, by the way, the entire Mega Mind script is also on there too. Nega Knives. This is Nega Scott's striker in the game. In it, she floats to an enemy and attacks it. As far as I know, she is not canon to the story. Online avatar creator. This is talking about the avatar creator that was created for the movie. In it, you can create your avatar. This is now considered lost media. Envy as X number 4. Guess what? I have no idea what this one is either. Style. I think this is referring to one of two things. Either the Scott Pilgrim style itself, or the two different styles that appear in the books. One being the early books and the other one being the later books. Seth Rogen was going to play Scott. Apparently, Seth Rogen was going to play Scott in the movie. The director said that he just couldn't wrap his head around it. I think it would be weird, seeing as the only picture I saw of Seth Rogen was with a beard, so the only image that comes to my head is Scott Pilgrim with a beard. The fan base hated Ramona. All I found on this was a Reddit post that just says Ramona's a whore. But I guess that would also explain the Scott Pilgrim ruined a generation of women, seeing as Ramona was kind of the main focus in that song. Ramona was Gideon's assassin. Just gonna take a shot in the dark for this one. So I'm guessing that during the time Ramona was with Gideon, he used her as an assassin. Eleanor. All I know is that she made a tweet on how she came back from a shopping trip with Miranda, Scott Pilgrim, and Misfits DVDs, Dyer Tendre, and peanut butter. Envy cheated on Todd with Scott. I mean, she was still dating Scott when she was dating Todd, as revealed in the third book. So, I guess she was cheating on both of them with each other. ScottPilgrimTheMovie.com. This is the official website for the movie. Basically, it's just saying what it is. You need the Wayback Machine if you want to visit it today, though. It's no longer up. Lucas is in Tony Hawk 4. This is referring to the Tony Hawk games, specifically the fourth one, and how the character, Lucas Lee, was playable. This does make sense in a story sense, though, because he is a skater. Low was hastily written. Yeah, I know it is. Everyone does. Can't really explain why, but there's a video called The Flaws in Failing to Scott Pilgrim that explains it better. Why the Kainagi don't talk in the movie. This is referring to the twins on how they don't have any lines. This is because the actors didn't actually know any English, which is actually kind of interesting to me, seeing as I didn't know. Montreal Campaign DLC. This is a scrapped DLC for the game, which was supposed to include playable Clash of Demon Head characters. The reason why it was scrapped was because of budget cuts and probably rights issues. Gideon was the cat. This was the theory that says Gideon was Ramona's cat in disguise. It was disproved in the final volume, where Ramona just says that it was her way of working things out. Ramona's dead brother. This surprised me when I read it, but yeah, she does actually have a brother. He died when she was young, and she wears his shoelace around her neck as a reminder of him. Official pin-up Valentine's art. Yeah, there is some. You can find some with a simple Google search. Look-alike NSFW artist. Okay, so I have two ideas on what this means. One, just NSFW in the style of Scott Pilgrim, or someone who looks like the actor that makes NSFW. I would say do not research this, but I checked my analytics and literally every single one of my audience is an adult, so I'm just gonna say go ahead if you want to. Scott was originally supposed to end up alone. This was an idea for the movie's ending, where Ramona and Knives walk together as a pair and just say chill to Scott and then leave. This one sucks and I hate it. Coin killer ending. The final entry on the iceberg, and one of my favorites. This is referring to an alternate ending to the movie, that was never filmed but planned. It would have been that Scott dreamt up the entire video game stuff and actually just killed 7 people. To be honest, I really want to see this ending. I think it'd actually be kind of funny and a nice twist on the series. And that is the end of the Scott Pilgrim iceberg. This was a lot of fun to do, and I learned a lot about the series. All parts will be combined into one, unless this is a full one. In that case, I'm still leaving this in because I think it's funny. As for other icebergs, I would like to do a Sam and Max one, if I can find one, wink wink. Anyways, that will be all. See you later.